Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, coming again today, you're very, very welcome. How great to see everybody here. I trust you enjoyed my last video on Jewel, and through her song Hands, we talked about kindness, so I trust you found that one encouraging. Well, we're going on to 1943 in South Philadelphia. This guy was came from an Italian-American family, and he did major in psychology as a kid, but he went on to do a Bachelor of Science. He just kind of got his start really by doing fraternity parties and coffee houses. In fact, this guy, the band that was in, the Villanova Singers at the start, ended up doing a bit of an exchange to Africa and the Middle East. So that's a pretty lot of experience there. The guy we're talking about is Jim Croce. And now Jim was a bit of a reluctant star, really, in many ways. He just had this beautiful, gentle, quiet style with just incredible chord progressions. The song we're going to get onto in a minute is absolutely stunning. The chords are very complicated, but they just flow. He got married, and his husband and wife actually did some stuff for a while. But it was around the early 1970s when a kid was on the way that Jim, who had kind of been dabbling with all sorts of things, say, I'm going to actually choose music full time. And he was initially sort of signed with Capitol Records, but ended up with ABC Records in a 3-album record deal. Now, Jim's a singer-songwriter, but singer-songwriters is what most artists actually are. He did get actually signed, and he was able to release his music to the world. We got the first album, Don't Mess Around with Jim, from 1972. We got a couple of songs off this album. We got Operator. We got a live version of that one, and the story goes that when Jim did some military service, he observed the line of guys waiting up to use the phone. And of course, back in those days, that you would say, "Hey, operator, please connect me to such and such," and the operator would actually plug one cord into another place, and that's the way that you made a phone call in those days. And sort of, you don't know how I feel, I want to talk to my girl. So we've got a live version of that one. But you can't talk about Jim without talking about Time in a Bottle. Now, this song is absolutely stunning. We've got a kind of a compilation kind of clip and the official clip below. Time in a Bottle is all about, if I could put time in a bottle, I would spend my time with you. Now, a little while ago, I did, quite a long time ago actually, I did a video on Alan Parsons Project and the song Time, and in that story I followed the trickle of a stream as it turned into a raging river, and the two rivers joined and they both went out to the sea, into the sunset. And I looked at the fact that time is the constant in our lives, it's the thing that just keeps us going, and thing just ebbs and flows through who we are. Well, time in a bottle is something a little bit different. That is, if we could actually bottle up time, if we could actually put time in a bottle, how would we spend it? Now, I hear an argument once, it's a pretty good argument to say that, we all know how valuable time is, don't we? There's 24 hours in a day, and 24 hours in a day. I'm not sure how many more minutes that is. I can't do the maths. But, we only have a limited number of time in the day. But how often do we go speeding from one thing to another? We think, well, I've got to get this thing done, I've got to get that thing done, I've got to get onto something else. If we actually sit still for long enough in those times when we can, and we waste time, that is, we don't do anything at all, we think, well, why would we want to waste time? Time's too valuable for that. Well, I've got an argument to say that if we waste time, particularly with someone who is special, wasting time, it just shows that you're even more valuable. Time is more valuable when you can waste it with someone. Time stands still. Sometimes we want time to stand still, don't we? Sometimes we don't want it to keep going. Sometimes we just want it to stop. Stop the merry-go-round, I want to get off. Or stop the world, I want to get off. Sometimes we need to escape the world, don't we? And now we need time to stand still for us. You know, certainly in intimate moments, you know, those time moments when, you know, the door's shut, the curtains are closed, and it's just you and your girl, or you and your guy, and you're just in those moments. You want time to stand still in those moments, don't you? You don't want it to keep going. And if you could bottle up that time, that special time, you would just want to do that, wouldn't you? I think this is what Jim Croce was going today with time in a bottle. He loved his family, and he was the reluctant tourer. And of course, when you sold as many albums as this guy actually has, he had to do that. But I think he longed for those precious moments when he was just with his wife and his family and not touring around the place. If I could put time in a bottle, I would spend it with you. Absolutely. And I think don't always think about time as one of these things that we just have to fill up. If we're wasting it, best feeling in the world, hey. So here's to wasting time. Now, obviously, we can't always waste time. If we've got to get to work, we've got to get to work, and, you know, we should get to bed at some point. But if we're in one of those moments when, you know, there's just the night's a bit young and we're just kind of relaxing, wasting time, forgetting time, even that time exists, can be a beautiful thing. Because we want to escape the world, we need to escape time as well. So good on you, Jim, for reflecting what is such a stunning chord progression song. This song is absolutely beautiful, and it's great to be able to reflect on this today, absolutely. Sometimes we want time to go a little bit quicker, don't we? We know we might be waiting for something to happen. It just seems to be forever getting there. I think we just got to forget those moments a little bit and just think time does what time does, and time will get back with us at some point. And so, you know, time is just one of these things we have no control over. We then go forward to another song, Life and Times. Bad Leroy Brown, and this guy apparently couldn't do anything right. Didn't realise this was a Jim Croce song, but we've got a live version of that one. He does a little bit of an introduction at the start there about how this song came about. Pretty cool. And then we got the album I Got a Name, live version of that one, and we've actually got a clip, I've Got a Name. Now this album's pretty significant because unfortunately for Jim, at the age of 30, in around 1973, he died in a plane crash. Another day, the music died. I'm thinking, obviously, it wasn't the song that American Pie was about. When I think about another day that music died, this is one of them. Unfortunately, he did not survive a plane crash, and he was just in the process of getting back with his family after extensive touring. So certainly my condolences to the Croce family for you know, just the sadness of that particular day. Oh my goodness. And the album was released just after his death, and got a live version of I Got a Name between 1966 and 1973. So, you know, not a long time here. 5 studio albums, 12 singles, 3 live albums. There's 21 other compilation kind of releases things. Jim has sold 45 million albums. Think about 5 studio albums. That's a stack of albums right there. And so the world really resonated, particularly with Time in a Bottle, but there were many other songs of those 12 singles he released that all were quite significant. It was great that he got inducted into the Songwriting Hall of Fame in 1990, obviously after his death. The industry wanted to acknowledge the absolute talent this guy absolutely was. And so it's good to be able to reflect on him today. It's just a little bit more poignant, I'm thinking too, that time in a bottle, he would have wanted to bottle the time, the special moments with his family, but it was taken way too soon at the age of 30. And so it's a bit poignant when we think about those lyrics in conjunction with his death. And so Jim well and truly has contributed to this collaborative legacy of this thing called music, the thing that has united many of us together, the thing that keeps our hearts going and our emotions in check. It makes them go all over the place at times. Time in a Bottle is such a beautiful, reflective song, and I really, really encourage you to have a look at that one below. So the links to those, how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 links are in the description below. And I've also included my last video on Jules, so if you want to cap on her, feel free. Well, if you come back for another one, or this is your first time to Life Reflections to Music, how great to see you all here. Next time, seeing we're in the gyms. Well, you cannot do Jays and Jim without looking at the immortal, the eternal Jimi Hendrix. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.